You're watching No More News.
Hello YouTube, Adam Green here with No More News, September 13th, 2018, and today we are going to talk Jared Kushner. Is he the Jewish Messiah? Is he the Moshiach? Is he the Antichrist? Well, I don't necessarily believe in this stuff, but other people do. So we're going to get into all the information. I've been talking about this for quite a while, and I've been promising a video all about this. I've got a playlist. You guys can see the playlist here. Kushner. So this is what we're going to go through today. I'm going to try to get through it in about an hour. This is the Kushner sequence. I got to squeeze this down. It's going to be part of The Chosen Ones, the documentary I'm going to have out soon. So move this back over here, and we're going to get right into it. Blow that up. So, first of all, I'm not the first one to say this. This has been going around a while on YouTube. People have been saying it. But I don't know if anybody's put together as much of a data dump as I'm about to drop. So hold on to your seats and stay tuned. And then I'll get to super chats and questions at the end so I can get through this as fast as I can. So here we see Jared Kushner posing as the Antichrist, End Times News. Bravo Alternative Media 666 convinced Jared Kushner is the Antichrist. Here's a good one that I saw that really made me get interested in this, from Face Like the Sun. Things are really getting bizarre. 370,000 on this one a year ago. And just more and more, so much has happened in that last year that really makes me think that they are going to claim Kushner is the Jewish Messiah. And I may be wrong, but we're just going to lay out all the information, and you guys can tell me what you think in the comments. So, we got, okay, let's start with the clips. So this is a televangelist on the Ackerman show, I believe, Christian Zionist on television, and this is what they're saying here. Okay, there we go. It's all over the internet. Here's just a comment. Kushner, this is a year ago. Kushner, in my opinion, my guy feeling is creepy evil. He may be the Antichrist. I do believe that. Not saying Trump is with him or knows what, but there's something sinister about this young man blessing. So 78 thumbs up on that one. So I'm not the only one that's thinking that. Here's somebody says he definitely gives off that vibe. He talks about the 666. He fits the profile of the Antichrist. Wait till you see all this information. Well, you already saw the sequence is hour long, but I'll get through it quicker than that. Just making sure audio's good, stream is good, 277 watching. Okay. Let's fly through this. So, here the Christian Zionist Jim Bakker show. Listen to what they say about the Jewish Messiah, and then we'll show how it's Kushner.
Some key things have to happen for the messianic figure in the Jewish mindset. For the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah. We think of Messiah after the model of Jesus. He's the Son of God, divine birth, all of that. That's not the way the Jews look at the Messiah. They're looking for a king. They're looking for a political leader. As a matter of fact, Messiah to them means the anointed one, and it goes back to the ancient days when they would anoint a king and recognize him as this is the man that God sent. And what they're looking for is several things. First,
okay, we're going to pause it there. So now watch these headlines for Kushner.
There have been at least a dozen Jewish rabbis that have said the Messiah is on earth now. He's been identified. He is soon going to make himself known.
Remember that, soon to make himself known, soon to be revealed. So he's talking about the Sanhedrin, all these top rabbis who believe they have identified the Moshiach. He is here on earth. He's about to reveal himself. Look at some of these headlines. Here's New York Times. Jared Kushner, Man of Steel, reminds you of Superman, the archetype of Messiah, the salvation, saving the world. Also, Superman was created by Jews with the idea that you could put on sunglasses and fit in with the white folks, just with sunglasses. Here's Aniston Star, Eugene Robinson tasked with saving the world. Jared Kushner is destined to fail, but still, think about the key words and what they're hammering into our brains. tasked with saving the world. Kushner saving the world. Here's another one. Harit's opinion, the downfall of Crown Prince Kushner. So Crown Prince. This one is Washington Post or Boston Globe. Trump's son-in-law Kushner is expected to stay power center. Power. Kushner and power. Real Clear Markets. Jared Kushner rise to unimaginable power. Early Trump world lesson. Don't cross Jared Kushner. Cross Jesus, Messiah, Savior. And Jared, when you do Bible studies tool, means a ruling or a commanding coming down, like the Moshiach coming down. So back to this preacher.
In the Jewish mindset, for the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah. We think of Messiah after the model of Jesus. He's the Son of God, divine birth, all of that. That's not the way the Jews look at the Messiah. They're looking for a king. They're looking for a political leader. As a matter of fact, Messiah to them means the anointed one, and it goes back to the ancient days when they would anoint a king and recognize him as this is the man that God sent.
Okay, so look at this. The Good Son, Time magazine. Forbes, this guy got Trump elected. Kushner is given credit for Trump. He's the man behind the throne with Trump. And wait till you see what the preacher, what else this Jim Baker says. How Jared Kushner won the White House. There's Forbes. President-in-law, that's the New York. The young Trump is more like his father-in-law than anyone imagines. Quiet fixer, Donald Trump's campaign, his son-in-law Jared Kushner. For good or ill, Jared Kushner is America's deputy president. He went to everything for Kushner. It's Jared Kushner's America, and we're just living in it. CBS, behind Jared Kushner's rise from operational guru to Trump whisperer. He's the Trump whisperer.
Jared is perceived right now as a very, very powerful man in the land.
He's Trump's golden boy.
Yes.
Golden boy. Vanity Fair. According to a number of people who spoke under the condition of anonymity, Kushner is a kind, charming, mild-mannered guy who has long been overmatched. Yet people say he's not charismatic.
I did actually speak to Donald Trump on Friday, and he told me how incredibly brilliant he thinks Jared is. He called him my son. Not even son-in-law, my son.
It's just particularly important.
Okay, so look, here's Comedy Central, even the left. Who is the real president? He's above Reince Priebus, Fox News, Satan, President Donald Trump, Putin, Trump series, Steve Bannon, Mike Pence, Mike Pence's wife, and number one, Jared Kushner is the real president. Donald Trump jokes that son-in-law Jared Kushner has become more famous than him. Okay, and now back to this guy.
Politician on the face of the earth that was standing. Some key things have to happen for the messianic figure in the Jewish mindset. For the Messiah to arrive, you can't think of him like we think of Messiah.
Okay.
We're going to undo the Iran deal, well, blah, blah, blah.
Donald Trump is going to war for Israel. For Israel. The most incredible things are happening. Never before has a president been so incredibly pro-Israel. God's light is...
Trump's not an Israel firster. He's not a Zionist. Listen to these Christian Zionists just almost having an aneurysm over how pro-Israel Trump is.
Shining on America right now. And it's because Christians stood up and they voted in those polling booths. And also because of Donald Trump's just absolutely incredible stance for Israel, recognizing Jerusalem as the eternal, indivisible capital of Israel.
Secondly, they're looking for, when the Messiah comes, there will be an ingathering of Jews from around the world back into the Holy Land. That's why the rabbis, on the eve of his election, went on television and said, we need to call now Jews from around the world, come back to Jerusalem.
Breaking Israel news, messianic tipping point. Majority of Jews in Israel, new Torah reality. They say they got to do the new messianic laws, and it's the first time. So here's New York Times. Netanyahu urges mass immigration of Jews from Europe. We got... The term Aliyah is the immigration of Jews from the diaspora to the land of Israel. Also defined as the act of going up, that is towards Jerusalem, making Aliyah. It's the most basic tenet of Zionism is going back to Jerusalem. Here's Daily Mail. Better get out early than late. Barcelona chief rabbi urges Jews to move to Israel as he warns Europe is lost because of threat from radical Islam. And after another attack, Prime Minister urges Jews, Bibi Netanyahu urges Jews to move to Israel. So this is part of it. All the Jews going to Israel brings in the Moshiach.
The world come back to Jerusalem because the Messiah is here, right?
Yes.
There's another thing. Thirdly, they talk about when he arrives, he is going to reinstitute the temple service. So what was the second thing they did? They called on Trump and Putin to use their power to rebuild the temple and to reinstitute the temple service. I'm not saying that they think he is the Messiah. What I actually think is...
This part's important. So Trump's not the Messiah, but what is he?
Is that most of the rabbis there think he's John the Baptist, and the Messiah is about to appear. He's the forerunner.
Trump is the forerunner to the Messiah. So who else besides Kushner so far, just with a little bit I've shown you, would be the forerunner to Trump? Stay tuned, it gets a whole lot worse.
He's the guy that's going to start the message in the wilderness, and the Messiah is going to come in on his heels, and so we need the temple service. We need to get back into Israel. The Messiah. Now, why are they saying that? They have identified somebody. I mean, there could be a few rabbis there that think he's the Messiah. The other third key is he has to be of the Davidic dynasty. He has to be of the Davidic bloodline, and there is an effort right now to go back through the European monarchy, cousins of President Donald Trump, to show that his bloodline goes back to...
Bet you they're doing the same for Kushner, or they already know Kushner is a Davidic bloodline.
To the Davidic dynasty. Now, why are these efforts underway? I'm just saying there's something very strange here that's going on, and everything I'm saying can be verified. Multiple news agencies, the Jerusalem Post, Breaking Israel News, they're all talking about this right now. So
I've done several videos on this stuff already. Trump prophecy, Third Temple prophecy, a bunch of them. Bankster's Paradise even ties in. Go look through my... I'll link some of the good ones actually in the description when it's archived. Okay, here's some more.
So I think that the smart ones in Israel are looking at him right now. They're saying he is God's, what we would call John the Baptist. He is God's messenger. When he takes over in January, there is a 5777 countdown to the appearance of the Messiah, and something could happen overnight that could lead to the reconstruction of the temple.
There we go. Overnight, like destroying the Dome of the Rock. Overnight. Blame it on the Arabs. So there you go. You heard that. Trump is John the Baptist. And he's the Cyrus, they also say. He's the forerunner to the Moshiach. So remember all these now. All the credit that Kushner was getting. He's the man behind the power. He's the one with the unimaginable power. He's the fixer. Here's... okay.
Yeah, that...
Here, we'll watch this.
Jared is...
Oh, we did that one already. More famous than me? Okay, watch this.
By the way, Thiel was a supporter of Trump. Eric Schmidt, the former Google CEO, was not a supporter of Trump, but he recognized Jared Kushner's genius. He said, Jared Kushner is the biggest surprise of the 2016 election. Best I can tell, he actually ran the campaign and did it with essentially no resource.
36-year-old
Kushner ran the campaign. Kushner ran the campaign. Trump is the forerunner. He's going to help rebuild the temple. Kushner is going to be right there. Jewish Messiah. They're going to say he is. I can almost guarantee it.
36-year-old Jared Kushner has no diplomatic experience, but he's become an envoy to foreign leaders, at times in place of the Secretary of State.
And there's more on that later, all the deals he's working in the Middle East.
And what they're looking for is several things. First of all...
Okay, we did that already. So, is Kushner the Moshiach? Let's look into some more. His religion. So here he is, Jared Kushner, 1981 at... Oh, that's he born in 1981. This is him at Harvard, 2003 Harvard yearbook. It says he's Friends of Chabad, the vice president of Friends of Chabad. And Kushner Foundation gives $342,000 to Chabad that we know about. Still surprised about Jared and Ivanka's synagogues? Nope, I'm not surprised. Are you guys surprised? Hundreds of thousands of donations tie Kushner and Trump to Chabad movement. They're also all connected to Putin. Here's Breitbart, which was founded in Israel with Netanyahu and Matt Drudge from Andrew Breitbart and those guys. Jim Hoff was there. All these to be a pro-Israel American right-wing media. Breitbart says Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner visit Lubavitcher's Rebbe's grave. So this is Chabad Lubavitch's most famous Rebbe. And the Chabad has so much stuff about rebuilding the temple on their website. This is Chabad.org, the Rebbe.org. You see, may it be rebuilt. And Chabad.org, will we use technology to build the third temple? There you go, Joseph from Talpiot Talk. Will it be some technology? Probably. Wouldn't doubt it. But it's going to be a person, like they said, like the guy said. They believe it's a real person, political leader like Kushner, who majored in government and is now Trump's top advisor. Chabad.org, why haven't Jews rebuilt the temple yet? I don't know. Why not? Rebuilding your temple, the little poem, Chabad.org. Another one from Chabad, the temple descends from on high. So you get the point. They're obsessed with the temple. And they're also obsessed with the Moshiach. Here's a little bit of their singing, their favorite song, We Want Moshiach Now. Kushner probably grew up singing this one.
Want to tell the Rebbe the words of the new song that we're singing with Mashiach, right? So I'm just going to read them. Am Yisrael, have no fear. Mashiach will be here this year.
Should I dance and sing?
We want Mashiach now. We don't want to wait. Okay?
How impatient. Okay, so there's the kids singing it, and now he has this is like their most famous song. They pray about the temple being rebuilt. All of Judaism is all about rebuilding the temple. The first and second were destroyed. When that second temple was destroyed, Zionism essentially started to come back, make Aliyah, end the diaspora, and then build the temple so the Moshiach comes, and we know what happens after that. I'll play it at the end, the finale. He really gets down. The Rebbe likes to clap and sing. Oh, there's Kushner. Kushner grew up probably singing this song, and now he's going to be the Moshiach. Okay, you guys are getting it, right? The song's a little catchy. Okay, so now here's a Chabad Lubavitch hip-hop artist, a reggae artist named Matisyahu, who is Chabad, and listen to some of his lyrics can tell you a lot about their mindset and their ideology.
Matthew Miller, better known by his Hebrew stage name Matisyahu, burst onto the music scene in 2004 as something of a novelty. An observant Orthodox Jew who sang reggae songs about his faith. But now, with a Grammy nomination and 2 gold albums, Matisyahu has earned critical acclaim as well. He says his music is a reflection of his spirituality. And he got involved with the Hasidic Chabad Lubavitch movement. Not only got involved, he says, but jumped into it full force.
I got really excited about being Jewish, you know. I started wearing a yarmulke, and I...
Really excited about being Jewish. That's kind of an odd thing to say, right?
I loved, like, all of a sudden the fact that I had this identity.
Matisyahu moved to Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where the Chabad Lubavitch movement is headquartered. And he entered a yeshiva, where he spent his weekdays in intensive study of the Torah. He says he was inspired by the beauty he found in the text.
All of my creativity was kind of like festering and bubbling. And then on Friday I would go and I would
screenshot that one.
Basically take one of those lines or one of those ideas and try to develop a song around it with a vision.
Matisyahu.
So his songs are their straight ideology. We're going to break down some of these lyrics and you're going to see. Now. Okay, I've done this before in another video, so I'll go through this quick. Songs of loving healing, song I Want Moshiach Now, so it's time we start revealing. Is that why it's all over YouTube, that Kushner's the Moshiach and I've got it figured out with an hour worth of evidence backing it up? So here's a... Making room for his love in a fire gone blaze. It makes me think he's talking about blowing up the Dome of the Rock to make room for the temple with his love and with a fire on the Dome of the Rock. What's my rip a hole in the ceiling, like the Dome of the Rock? The dome is the ceiling. Rip a hole. I give myself to you from the essence. Could be wrong. Who knows? Okay, now here's another song called Jerusalem. Hear that? the ancient days, we will return with no delay, the bounties and the spoils. Like, unapologetically, we're going to get the bounties and the spoil to the ancient days when we rule the world from Jerusalem again. This is their end game. This is their end of days scenarios, ruling the world with their Moshiach. One world religion, one world currency, mark of the beast, and one world government.
In the ancient days, we will return with no delay, picking up the bounty and the spoils on our way.
So, look at Israel and the unexpected New World Order, Jerusalem Post. In the new and surprising economic world order, Israel could gain a degree of wealth not seen since the days of King Solomon, the ancient days. King Solomon, I believe he was like the richest man in the world, also into the occult. Here's the seal of Solomon, the hexagram, like put a hex on you. I believe he had like a bunch of witch girlfriends or something. I may be wrong about that, but that's what I heard. But yeah, there you go. The Zionist, they call it the Star of David, but really it's the Star of Renfram. And of course we got Acts 7:43. This is, you have taken up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Rephan. The idols you made to worship, therefore I will send you into exile beyond Babylon. This is around the time of the Second Temple. Moloch. That's who they were worshiping. Remphan. Remphan is rendering of the ancient Greek. In Hebrew, it's Chun, Kawan, or Kuun. Kuun is probably Old Babylonian, meaning the planet Saturn. So this symbol here, they say, is the star of Moloch, the star of Renfram, which represents Saturn. They'd sacrifice people to Moloch, which is the god Saturn, they say. More on that in a bit. So rebuild the temple.
Rebuild the temple and the crown of glory. Years gone by, about 60. Burning.
A little Holocaust propaganda there. But here we go. Rebuild the temple and the crown of glory. So they're all about rebuilding the temple.
We've been traveling from state to state.
Don't you see, it's not about the land or the sea. So Israel is not just about the promised land, it's about the temple. The most important thing is the temple. 100 years before Israel, when the Sanhedrin rabbis sent the letter to the Rothschilds, this was from the Temple Institute website that they removed from the internet. And they asked Rothschilds, please buy up the Temple Mount, buy up the promised land. We want to return to Israel. We want to have a state. But at the very least, get the Temple Mount so we can rebuild the temple. It's their end game. They're absolutely obsessed with it. And all the right-wing Trump media and conservatards, kosher conservatives, are all essentially in a temple cult, Third Temple cult. Christian Zionists, we're talking InfoWars, Breitbart, WND, Rebel Media, One News Network, Mark Dice, Lauren Southern, Tommy Robinson, Jack Posobiec, Mike Cernovich. It goes on and on and on. Trump big time is a hardcore Zionist. It's not about the land of the sea. It's all about the temple, and Trump is making sure that temple is going to get rebuilt. The temple not the country doesn't matter, but the dwelling of his majesty. See what's important? Okay, so if I forget you, oh, there's one more lyric. Shoot, here, we gotta fix that. This is the next lyric.
Jerusalem, if I forget you, let my right hand forget what it's supposed to do.
Let my right hand forget what it's supposed to do. That's the verse about rebuilding the temple and remembering Jerusalem. The same verse that this rabbi, oh look, there's Adelson's wife right there. How sweet, right behind Trump. Yeah, he's not America first. He's Israel first. Or more on him later. This rabbi says the same thing. Jerusalem, if I forget you, if I not come from my tongue, forget my right hand, forget what it's supposed to do. Where was it? There it was. Okay, right hand forget supposed to do. Now, this is the rabbi at Trump's inauguration.
By the rivers of Babylon, we wept as we remembered Zion. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, may my right hand forget its skill.
Get it? So right hand forget its skill. That's what they're talking about. So that was the rabbi at inauguration. Now, here is a documentary on Amazon Prime called Jerusalem and the Lost Temple of Jews. In honor of God, Solomon built the first temple in Jerusalem, but was destroyed by the Babylonians, and the second temple built by King Herod was also dismantled by the Romans, probably why they hate white people so much. This compelling story goes throughout history to figure out where these two temples were built, and the third might be built before the Messiah's return. So, yeah, this is a Christian Zionist documentary all about rebuilding the temple. Here, I'll read you through this. The most unprecedented and unparalleled event in human history will be the return of Jesus to earth. Over the centuries, there have been signs that have reminded the world of the magnificent and concluding event. But there remains one more sign, one last grand sign that is yet to come into view, and that sign, until it manifests and materializes, prevents the second coming of Christ. So, that they are trying to bring back the second coming, have the end of days. This film is about that sign, and it starts off with good old Joseph Farah from WND, super ultra Zionist.
Today, Jerusalem is that burdensome stone that the prophet Zechariah talked about.
Okay, he is. I'm going to break this up with a little tidbits here. Zionist Organization of America House Majority Leader DeLay will be keynote speaker at ZOA's November 16th dinner. This is in 2003, leading up to the war with Iraq around that time. The ZOA's Ben Hecht Award for Outstanding Journalism concerning Israel and the Jewish people will be presented to Joseph Farah from WND, the Arab American syndicated columnist, founder and editor of WorldNet Daily. Super Zionist.
It appears to be an intractable and unsolvable dilemma, but what you're about to hear could change all of that.
So basically the documentary is like, oh, the Temple Mount is an old Roman fortress, and actually the temple's supposed to go on the slope right next to it, so we can rebuild now. We don't have to destroy it. Let's rebuild now so we can Jesus can return and defeat the Antichrist. Here he is, Joseph Farah, Why I Am an Arab Christian Zionist. Now this is the same documentary. This is how it ends. This is what they have in plan for us Gentiles and us Goyams.
Jerusalem will be trodden.
We're going to turn these up. That's why you need the Going Defense League. Going Defense League t-shirts.
Trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. By this statement, he also indicated
we want the time of the Gentiles to be fulfilled. That means the time of the... If now is the time of the Gentiles, I don't want to see when our time was fulfilled and it's the time of the Jews. It's not going to be good for us.
By this statement, he also indicated there would come a fulfillment and an end to the times of the Gentiles.
End of our time, guys. That's what happens. Here's Joseph Farah, of course, on InfoWars, you know, tied in Mr. Non-Zionist Alex Jones, Mr. 9/11 Truther, New World Order, Mr. Anti-New World Order, when it's just he's basically misdirecting and keeping it a secret, everybody, that it's actually a blank world order. But, so Joseph Farah is on InfoWars, just like all the rest of the Zionists and the alternative right-wing media.
But today, Jerusalem is still trodden down, a divided city, occupied with Muslims, Christians.
Get those Muslims out of there, get those Christians out of there. Oh yeah, the Christians aren't liked over there either. They get spit on, their church is burnt. They don't like Jesus. I don't know why the Christians and the Jews are working together, because they got different messiahs that are they hope win in the end.
Armenians, and all kinds of religious groups.
WND, Trump's Jerusalem declaration sparks talk of Third Temple cult. Oh, Jerome Corsi too. That's where Jerome Corsi is from. And InfoWars hired Jerome Corsi, last I checked, to be the Washington Bureau, but that never happened.
And the Jews are still without their temple. And so the prophecy of the times of the Gentiles being fulfilled.
So they're without their temple, and here, I got to stop it. I don't want these guys to copyright me.
The times of the Gentiles being fulfilled has not come to pass.
As soon as that temple is built, the time of the Gentiles has come to pass. Remember that, Gentiles. Remember that. Oh, crap. It looks like I got this here, and I don't want it to be. So we're going to do a mark there and come back. Okay, so the Rebbe, Chabad Lubavitch. Got a little off track. We're coming back. This is the Rebbe meeting with Netanyahu in 1990. Listen to what he talks about. There's one thing that's important. Netanyahu's basically been the president since before the prime minister since before 9/11.
בכל העניינים, גם האישיים, גם הלאומיים.
Since we last met, many things have progressed. Yes, many things have progressed. He's probably planning 9/11 and the war on terror and all this so they could have their temple rebuilt and become a superpower in the region. But what hasn't changed, however, is that Moshiach still hasn't come. At this time, I think Netanyahu is the ambassador to America. So do something to hasten his coming. Do more to bring the Moshiach. We're planning 9/11. It's not enough. Please bring him before I die. And he gives him his little dollar there. So tell Netanyahu, rebuild the temple. Here's a Menachem Begin with the Rebbe. Menachem Begin was a terrorist Irgun elected in the 70s, bombed the King David Hotel, super bad guy. And people like to say that, oh, the Rebbe, he's not associated with Israel, but he is the most respected, one of the top rabbis, and most famous rabbis in Jewish history, essentially.
I have come tonight to our great master and teacher, the Rabbi, to ask and get from him his blessings before I go to Washington to meet President Carter for the important talks we are going to hold on the future of the Middle East. The people in Israel do pray for the success of those very important meetings. I do not call them fateful meetings because the people of Israel, the Jewish people, are an eternal people, and their lot and future are not dependent on a political meeting with the leader of the free world.
That's chutzpah, huh? It doesn't matter what happens in the meeting because we are God's chosen people and this is the Trump promised land and nothing can stop us from dominating the world like prophecy says.
However, such a meeting
has great importance for our future, and therefore I have asked for the blessings of the Rabbi, of our great teacher. Rabbi Schneerson is a great man in Israel. All of us respect him.
All of us respect him.
Accept his judgment. He's a great lover of the house of Israel. He has shown his deep sentiment and love for our children. His blessings are very important to me. I do hope they will speak the Aspara.
Okay, so people that say the captain Israeli sniper tried to say that, oh, the Rebbe has nothing to do with Israel. Well, seems to me like it sure does. And same with the Sephardic Yosef rabbis too, or almost worse.
In diaspora and in
this is him responding to Menachem Begin. Of course, what he has to say all about the Moshiach.
In diaspora and in the Holy Land, and to have a real peace as a preparation for the coming of Messiah speedily in our time. And a special thanks to the Prime Minister and also through him to the Jews in Eretz Israel.
Eretz Israel. That means expanded borders from where they are, from the Nile to the Euphrates. The two blue on the Israeli flag. The Promised Land is described in the Bible. That's why they're trying to break up Syria and mess up the Middle East so they can grow and become a superpower.
Our Holy Land in general.
Some of whom I've known for many.
Okay, now we got Kushner. So Kushner's connection to Netanyahu. Netanyahu's meeting in the 90s with Rebbe. Netanyahu was friends with Fred Trump, Trump's dad, in the 80s also. And then now here's the connection with, it's like a little tight-knit tribe, and Trump's right in the middle of it. And here's Netanyahu talking about sleeping with Kushner. At
many
Kushner's
years
house.
too. Can I reveal, Jared, how long we've known you?
Can I reveal? Is it a secret? Shouldn't have revealed this one, Netanyahu.
Can I reveal, Jared, how long we've known you? Well, he was never small. He was always big. He was always tall. But
The relationship between Israel and America is stronger than ever, and we really thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for his leadership and his partnership.
Thank you. Thank you. I've known the president, and I've known his family and his team for a long time. And there is no greater supporter of the Jewish people and the Jewish state than President Donald Trump. Trump.
He ain't
I think
lying.
we should put that to rest.
Thank you very much. Very nice. I appreciate that very much.
Okay, so here's a little more from Chabad Lubavitch, and then we'll be moving on to some crazy stuff. Rebuilding the temple. This is the Rebbe. It's just the most important thing in Chabad, which Kushner is a member. This is from a Chabad Lubavitch documentary about rebuilding the temple. Oh, the children made a temple out of cookies. How sweet. Here's $1. Aren't I so charitable? May they take part in building the third temple. Built a model for the Rebbe. Everybody is based on Maimonides' writings. There's another temple. Hope that the temple will be rebuilt soon. I know I'm beating this to death, but this is just interesting stuff with how obsessed they are. The gate, so it's another, may you have great blessings. Alright, so you get it, the temples. Alright, I know some people don't like the longer videos, but I'm going to make this one a shorter one too, but this is just a lot of info. I wanted to get it all out there, the whole data dump with me ranting and interrupting and breaking it down. So here is, I believe this is something called perception. It could be something called perception without awareness. So whoever's writing these scripts for these teleprompters, or maybe it's something supernatural that's putting this in this guy's head, but it really sounds to me like this guy says Moshiach. He says most shocking, but it sounds like most shocking. And crazy enough, I was watching TV and I heard somebody else say the same thing. Most shocking, not most shocking, most shocking. Tell me what you think.
That was the most shocking thing in the story. That Eric.
This is a Fox News clip about Trump won. Kushner won Trump the election because he's so smart and such a tech genius.
That was the most shocking thing in the story. That Eric Schmidt, big backer of Hillary, and also helped her build her tech machine. If he's saying this is a big deal, watch this Kushner guy. I knew I had a story. That was the most shocking thing. That was the most shocking thing.
So perception without awareness, I've showed it before. You can just YouTube that. There's a hypnotist at the mall who just says a bunch of announcements that kind of have the words like sounding like arm up, and it's like a subliminal message that your brain perceives without being aware of it. So maybe they're trying to, just like with all the headlines I show you, like, you know, Superman and Power and Cross and Crown Prince. This is to condition our minds to have us accept the idea like, oh, I guess the Jews think that Kushner is their savior. He's a government leader and helped them rebuild the temple and a bunch of other stuff. So here's a little disinfo from Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is deep in this. Here is Estelin on his show talking about the Rothschilds.
So you're saying Rothschilds are backing Trump versus the eugenics-based Rockefellers?
Exactly. If you kind of look at the people behind...
I got told that my CIA sources 3 years ago. They said, oh, you're bashing the Rothschilds. Watch what they're about to do. They're going to try to actually give wealth back to the people. Not because they're even good. They don't want a total worldwide bloodbath.
It's just at this time, their interests coincide with our interests. Because, again, behind...
And now we actually...
So there you go. The Rothschilds. Alex talked to his CIA contact, and he said, oh, don't bash the Rothschilds. They're good. They're for Trump. They're good. And don't forget, the Rothschilds are... instrumental in the founding of Israel. They paid for the Supreme Court with the all-seeing eye. They're behind the central banks. They're bad news, and Alex Jones is flipped. The controlled opposition has flipped, and he's revealing himself, and now he's saying the Rothschilds are good, and you'll see a little bit more.
So you're saying Rothschilds are backing Trump versus the eugenics-based Rockefellers?
Exactly. If you kind of look at the people behind...
I got told that my CIA sources 3 years ago. They said, oh, you're bashing the Rothschilds. Watch what they're about to do. They're going to try to actually give wealth back to the people. Not because they're even good.
We're going to give wealth back to the people. Okay.
And now we actually have parts of the Israel lobby turning against Hollywood and the leftist lobby and turning against all those crazy self-hating Jews and other people in Hollywood and in D.C., and there is a civil war really going on inside the Israel lobby to a great extent. And like the cavalry, here comes Netanyahu over here.
Yeah, Netanyahu's the cavalry, the good guy. And you know, Johnny Gatt just put out a good video before and after Alex Jones. Definitely check that out. There's a lot of other before and after compilations, before and after he sold out. And he used to say that Israeli lobby was bad. You know, he'd criticize them minimally. But now they're the good guys.
It's the Israel lobby, the conservative Israel lobby. There's more than one that is backing the tax cuts, backing the basic Trump agenda. But what
That's not a Zionist there. Go check out Alex Jones' Art of the Shill, a video I made about him. I got a whole playlist exposing Alex Jones. Hopefully I'll get to debate his little minion, Owen Schroyer, said no more news on the show today. Guess he saw my video challenging him to a debate. Let's do it, bro. Come on my show or have me on Skype or give me the call-in number. I'm not going to sit on hold, and I've wasted enough of my time listening to InfoWars throughout my life. I'm not going to sit on hold hoping you go to my call.
But what I like seeing...
Now here he is pandering to Jews now, the new target market.
But what I like seeing is American Jews really get on board with Trump and InfoWars. That's a good thing. But real Jewish Americans are hard-working patriots. They're just like everybody else. They love InfoWars. They actually listen, and they know what's going on. And so I saw photos and articles of people out there supporting Trump with InfoWars shirts on, all the rest of it. And I like that. I'm not ashamed of supporting good people in Israel. I'm not ashamed of supporting good Muslims who don't want to be part of this larger caliphate.
Yeah, I debated Shlomo, a Zionist in Israel. I've debated him twice, and I found out about him because he entered the InfoWars reporter contest, and he took a photo with Laura Loomer when she was in Jerusalem. And it shows you the type of audience that Alex Jones appeals to now. Zionists to Israelis want to work there.
All the bullying over the years, all the anti-Israel stuff, all of it is all part of a larger globalist UN, Sorosian...
We'll get more to Soros, Alex. Don't you worry.
Program, and the Vatican is heavily involved, and they want the UN to come in and take over that holy city. Talk about bringing in revelation. You know, maybe I just don't want revelation to come in that quick. I got a 1-year-old daughter. I got 3 other children I love. Maybe I just don't like seeing it fulfilled, to have the Babylon whore and the false prophet in control of Jerusalem. Maybe just at a deep level, I don't like the UN taking control of Israel.
So he says the UN's taking control of Israel, and they're going to install the Antichrist. The UN, this is complete backwards, inverted truth, Disinfo Wars. I should have my Disinfo Wars logo up there.
Because that's the thing. That's who's going to take it over. And then they're going to start even bigger wars. You'll never satisfy the so-called Palestinians.
As if the Palestinians are behind all the wars. The war on terror is an Israeli construct. Jones knows it. He used to talk about it, but not anymore.
The Arab countries won't take one of them. What does that tell you? Because everywhere you take them in, they try to overthrow you. It's what they do.
Everywhere the Palestinians go, they try to overthrow you. I think you're thinking about somebody else, Alex. It's the one group that you refuse to criticize. So now here is a screenshot from a video Jones had out called "Why is Obama Putting Israel in the Crosshairs?" And he's got the Dome of the Rock, which is the Muslim holy site, in the crosshairs, almost as if another little subliminal message out there, like he knows something.
And you know what they do to holy sites? They blow each other's holy sites up. So you let unfettered Islamic takeover happen in Jerusalem, guaranteed within 1 year, Dome of the Rock, all of it is going to get blown sky high. Because that's especially what the Wahhabis do.
So the Arabs, Jones is trying to lie to his audience and say that the Arabs are going to blow up the Dome of the Rock, and that the Palestinians try to take over every country they go to, and that, what was he on? The Rothschilds are good. And, okay. Oh, and the UN's going to take over Jerusalem and install the Antichrist. We all know the truth. That's total disinfo. Nobody buys Jones anymore. But just in case you don't, here is the facts. Here's a guy talking about the Third Temple and that the embassy is a major step towards rebuilding.
How is it going to be conducted? On the same location where the Mount Sharif is?
There's only one place that it can be done in the whole world, and that is the place of the Temple Mount. That's why it's called the Temple Mount. And, of course, that's where it's going to be.
So how is it going to happen?
How is it going to happen? Yeah. That we're going to leave part of it up to God, but I can tell you clearly that...
That's one I made. That's the embassy opening with talking about the real topic is blowing up this dome. And notice he says we're going to leave it partly up to God. How is it going to happen? It has to be built on the Temple Mount. And how is it going to happen? Partly up to God. So the rest is going to be them destroying it.
Of course, that's where it's going to be.
So how is it going to happen?
How is it going to happen? Yeah. That we're going to leave part of it up to God, but I can tell you clearly that the Al-Aqsa Mosque...
Al-Aqsa Mosque has got to go. Here's another John Ankerberg show. Ankerberg. Who wants to blow up the Dome of the Rock and rebuild the temple? It's not the UN. It's not the Wahhabists that want to blow it up. It's the Christian Zionists and the Jews, you frickin' liar, Alex Jones, disinfo, piece of trash, traitor.
So all the preparations have been made. There's one problem. That gold dome building, the Dome of the Rock, sits on the spot where the temple has to be erected there on the Temple Mount. And I've got to tell you, during the Gulf crisis, when I first moved to Jerusalem, we would hear the siren warning of an incoming Scud. Most of us ran into our sealed room, put on our gas mask. The Jews living in the Jewish quarter in the old city of Jerusalem ran to the Temple Mount, started to pray, "Dear God, let one of those Scuds hit the Dome of the Rock." Of course, Scud...
You hear that? The Jews ran to the Temple Mount hoping that a missile would hit the Dome of the Rock. It's the Jews that want to destroy it.
Quarter in the old city of Jerusalem ran to the Temple Mount, started to pray, "Dear God, let one of those Scuds hit the Dome of the Rock." Of course, Scud is an acronym for sure could use direction because Saddam didn't know where they were going. But I believe that's what's going to happen.
Here's some more Christians and Jews.
This place has been a holy place since the beginning of the world and is, in essence, the center of the world. And we believe that the rock inside of the Dome of the Rock, which is called in Hebrew the Evan HaShatiyah, which in English means the foundation stone, is the foundation stone of the world. That is the place from which God spread out the earth. Right now it's in the hands of the Arabs. We want to change that status to return the temple to its glory, rebuild the temple, restore the sacrificial service.
I believe that there will be a temple built. The Dome of the Rock will somehow be done away with. I have no idea. There's been plenty of earthquakes up there.
Who wants to blow up the Dome of the Rock, Alex Jones? The Wahhabists, the Arabs want to blow it up?
Can solve it. Saddam could, or not Saddam, but maybe someone from Iran could shoot a missile that gets off target and blow the Dome of the Rock. We kept hoping for that, by the way. I kept hoping one of Saddam's missiles would find its way over to the dome.
They also say it could be from an earthquake. The Palestinians are complaining that the Jews are doing so much excavations underneath the Temple Mount that it's going to collapse. So it could happen a number of different ways. There's even a movie called Dig where the whole plot, I'll get to in a second, the whole plot is about Jews blowing up the Dome of the Rock to rebuild the temple. A Hollywood movie or an Israeli movie.
I don't know exactly how it's going to be removed, but it is not part of the end times as far as the Bible or Christianity is concerned. I don't think Judaism either. There's no place for that mosque. It has to be removed.
For the first time since the will be a daily offering in the morning, a daily offering in the afternoon, special offerings on the Sabbath and holidays.
These cube-wearing freaks want blood to run through the streets and want to rule the world and do animal sacrifices. And I'm not being mean, I'm not being anti-Semitic. This is their own words. I'm showing you them saying these things.
The Passover sacrifice, all of those will be brought again, and the future temple will stand forever.
Forever. Rule the world forever. Okay, here's one on the street. One more showing who wants to blow it up.
לא משנה. ככה, כי זה מקום שלנו באמת. כן, זה לא מגיע אליהם, הם מגיעים... אני לא אכפת לי, שלחו לאנשהו מקום אחר. כן, זה לא קדוש להם, הם מחפשים סתם להציג לנו, מחפשים לעצר לנו כל מקום שקדוש לנו, הם בונים מסגד. אבל יש תוכנית לעשות את זה? לא, התוכנית הוא לא. לך יש? כאילו, אתה כותב אני לא אדבר על זה, אבל בוא נגיד שיש... בינתיים אבל בכל אופן, מי שמשמיט פה כל זכר זה בינתיים המוסלמים. בינתיים. ככה שאנחנו מדברים רק על דיבורים, על תיאוריות, בינתיים הם עושים מעשים.
See, so these guys want to blow it up. Let's hear, here's some more. Oh, there's more Alex Jones.
He has been seen.
Okay, here. So remember I said that the Antichrist, the Messiah, is going to be revealed soon. They have identified him and he's going to be revealed. When Kushner was well known for being a recluse, for not talking to the media, and when he finally came out on the world stage, it was such a big deal. Like, he spoke, it is revealed. Even Alex Jones gets in on this. Here's a little piece from CNN of all how much of a big deal this was when Kushner became known and he spoke for the first time on the world stage.
He has been seen but not heard, silently watching President Trump sign orders. Jared Kushner is usually in the middle of the action, but publicly mum.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to have to pause it every couple seconds. You guys know why. I'm sorry, but CNN, I don't want this taken down because of CNN.
Sitting at the president's side, but never a peep out of it.
Have you ever heard him speak? Seriously, what does his voice sound like?
My main business is real estate.
Okay. Kushner finds his voice, his vocal cords.
The Trump administration tells Jared Kushner's
talking, but
it was even on Saturday Night Live.
Once tiptoed past his wife.
Just famously
found his voice.
So,
Genimo, CNN.
So you get the point. You can go watch the thing. It's on YouTube from CNN. Kushner speaks. I'll put it in the description. Newsweek, Kushner speaks in public and hears how his voice sounds. Kushner speaks in public and hears his voice. Jared Kushner finally spoke. The internet can't stop mocking his voice. Still, it's about the reveal. Even Alex Jones got in on this. And listen to how he hypes him up.
Jared Kushner can speak. He actually talks. He says Trump's kept his promises. I want to play some of these historic clips, though, of Jared Kushner. He speaks. He actually spoke from there at the dedication of the embassy that opens today. I can show you some of those photos. Put them up on screen. They're on Infowars.com, Newswars.com. There's a good one there with Ivanka Trump. Embassy, United States of America, Jerusalem, Israel. Donald J. Trump, President. Michael J. Pence, Vice President. In fact, I heard Rebbe do this. I'm going to play Kushner.
So then that's one time in the show, and then he comes back to Kushner again. He's really all about the piping up Kushner.
In fact, I heard Rebbe do this. I'm going to play Kushner twice. Wow, why hasn't Kushner been speaking? He looks pretty authoritative, looks strong, got a nice gleam in the eye. Sounds nervous, but hey, man, get over it, bro. You come off strong.
Do you really listen to him? He's going to sell Kushner to his audience. He's going to run after Trump. Chabad Lubavitch and the rest of the world is going. The rest of the Jews and Christian Zionists are going to go along with this. Kushner is the Messiah thing, the Moshiach.
Do you really consider the embassy move as just one?
So this was Kushner at the embassy move that Alex Jones was playing clips of, and listen to what these people at the Temple Institute or this international committee about rebuilding the temple, what they think the embassy really means.
Do you really consider the embassy move as just one step in the direction of building the temple?
It's a huge step. It's not just a step. It's a huge step because it is a step that is bringing together the biblical narrative, the narrative of Esav and Yaakov, the two brothers that were split thousands of years ago, are now being brought together again. And this is all part of the biblical narrative. We believe that this is a huge step to the recognition of Jerusalem, of Israel, and the rebuilding of our third temple.
So the embassy is a huge step towards rebuilding the third temple. Here's Times of Israel. Israel group mints Trump coin to honor Trump Jerusalem recognition. So they made a coin, and it's called from an educational organization focusing on the Jewish temple, made this coin about Trump. Israeli group mints coin bearing Trump's image. There's Trump Cyrus, who helped rebuild the second temple, and it's called the Temple Coin from the Mikdash Education Center. So the embassy is all about the third temple, and Trump is right in the heart of it, making it happen, like the new Cyrus / John the Baptist, the forerunner to Kushner, the Moshiach. Here's some more Alex Jones giving us a little insight. You know, Jones is an insider with these Zionists. He's definitely hearing this stuff. Look at this little hint he drops about what's going on with Kushner.
Hold on, let's talk about this more when we come back, because I don't want to run Jared down. He looks like a smart guy, good-looking guy. Clearly, they're grooming him to be president. Great. But not if he's not smart enough to sit.
Grooming him to be president. They're grooming him to be president. He majored in government at Harvard. He's Trump's top advisor. They're giving him all this credit. He is going to run. He is going to be hailed as the Moshiach. I mean, I may be wrong, but it certainly seems like it.
Good-looking guy. Clearly, they're grooming him to be president. Great. But not if...
Grooming him to be president. Okay, here's JTA. So they're going to be, this whole conservatives are going to... People have been critics of my theories about Kushner, have said, oh, he's not charismatic enough. He's not, he's not strong enough. He's not going to do it. But the media can make a hero out of anybody. Listen to Alex Jones. He'll sell Kushner to his MAGA tards and get him to love him. Here's one of them here. JTA. At 20 years old, Jacob Wohl wants to be the face and voice of the young Jewish Trump supporters. Of course, there's tons of Jewish Trump supporters. Here's his tweet. Jared Kushner is absolutely kicking ass for America. My response, hail Moshiach. We want Moshiach now. Look at that. 126 retweets, 435 likes. A lot of people like Kushner. He's going to be the hero. How Jared Kushner helped bring the 2026 World Cup to North America. What a hero, the World Cup. Wins over all the soccer fans there, all the sports fans. Washington Examiner, NAFTA, another win for Jared Kushner. Yay, Kushner's the best. Oh yeah, Alex Jones wants to talk trash about Soros all day. Soros is the big enemy. Here we go. Is Jared Kushner a paid protester? Because it turns out he's gotten a bunch of money from George Soros. Kushner family's business ties go back decades. Is Jared Kushner... Oh, that's the same title. Here's Business Insider. Jared Kushner didn't disclose business ties with George Soros, Peter Thiel, gay conservative Zionist, tech billionaire, Trump supporter, and Goldman Sachs, that he owes $1 billion. Reminds me of Trump personally owing $1 billion and being in $4 billion total debt when the Rothschilds, Wilbur Ross, bailed him out. Jared Kushner is China's Trump card. Jones wants to complain all day about China, China, China. Well, look at all the deals Israel's doing with China. Look at Kushner and China.
They too believe that we are in the end times. They too believe that the Messiah is about to appear. We would say the second coming is about to happen, but their Messiah is going to be a false Messiah. He's going to be the Antichrist, right?
Okay, so everybody know one of the biggest things, Jared in 666 building. He paid, you'll see it. 666 Fifth Avenue, one of the most famous streets in the world in New York, a few blocks away from Trump Tower. Fifth Avenue, 666. It's like the theme of the whole building.
I feel like most people don't even know what
Jared Kushner sounds like, even though he's so influential now, because he rarely talks to the press. The only interviews we could find online...
Well, not anymore.
We went to find Jared Kushner to ask him what his plans were. Walking to the office at 666 Fifth Avenue with his parents, he was offering no clues.
Over in the White House.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You're going to get a job.
See what else from... Okay, here it is. So the 666 building, Kushner companies paid $1.8 billion to acquire 666 Fifth Avenue across from the Rockefeller Center. And at the time, the largest sum paid for a single office building in the country. Paid more for it than ever. It was like, had to have it. Had to have the 666. What's with that? We hear all day that Hillary is satanic. What about Kushner and Trump? The deal was staggering even amid a frothy climate, both for its price and its structure. Vanity Fair. Kushner's paid 3 times what the building had sold for less than a decade earlier in a debt-filled deal. And he actually lost, he just sold it recently, but he lost a lot of money off it. But the sale can't erase the mark of 666 from Jared Kushner. He's got the mark of 666. And is Israel satanic? Is this satanic? We have this book here, The Secret Life of a Satanist, one of the most famous Satanists, the authorized biography of Anton LaVey. And look at what it says here. Shortly after the Satanic Bible came out, I met with Asaf Dayan, actor son of Israel's legendary defense minister Moshe Dayan. Here's Moshe Dayan, super famous Israeli military leader with the eye patch. This is his son. He was glowing about the book, so they loved his Satanist book. Agreed with everything in it. He said it was exactly the philosophy they practiced, were forced to practice in modern Israel. He extended an invitation for me to stay at his home in Tel Aviv whenever I wished. So, top Israeli military leader. His son visits with the top Satanist in the United States, maybe in the world, and says, Satanism is exactly what we do in Israel. Hey, not my words. This is their words. Here's some Bible words here. Some words of God, if you will. King James Bible. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and they are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. Synagogue of Satan. They're also into Cabala, which is connected to Freemasonry and like the mysticism of Judaism. Is Ivanka getting into Cabala with red thread bracelet? It's cut off, but you can see it there. She is, just like Madonna and some of the Hollywood trendies. Jared Kushner once broke up with Ivanka Trump over religion issue. He's deeply, deeply religious. Trump, the best business advice I ever received. Says here, one day when my Kabbalah teacher, Etan Yardini, asked how I was doing, I told him I needed a break. So Trump has a Kabbalah teacher as well, into the Kabbalah. Okay, so a little more on the Satanist aspect of this. This is the Rebbe again with the black cube on the top. We got BlackRock and Blackstone private equity rivalry. These guys are both Jewish. Schwartzman and Larry Fink, the two biggest private equity companies in the world. They own so much, almost all of Wall Street, relatively, more than anybody else. Cambridge Analytica bosses were secretly filmed boasting about how they helped Trump win U.S. elections. So that's Cambridge Analytica, who is connected to Israeli intelligence company formed venture with Trump campaign firm Cambridge Analytica. I believe that was Black Cube, which is, so we got Blackstone, BlackRock, Black Cube. Remember this black cube that's on the Rebbe's forehead. And Black Cube is a private intelligence company based in London, Paris, and Tel Aviv, Israel. And it was founded in 2010 by former Israeli intelligence. And it includes former members of Israeli intelligence, including Amman, Mossad, and Shin Bet. So they're Israeli mercenary group. Some of the headlines: Black Cube inside of the shadowy Israeli firm accused of trying to, don't know what that one was. Israel likely knew of Black Cube's effort to discredit Iran deal, so they're messing with the Iran deal. This is Black Cube, who Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, helped get in touch with Harvey Weinstein to, mess with some of his victims, his sexual abuse victims, and possibly put a hit on Bourdain. Inside Black Cube, the Mossad of the business world. So BlackRock, Blackstone, Black Cube, and Black Cube. This is their website, select group of veterans. Contact us page. On the contacts page on Black Cube's website. Tel Aviv, last three numbers 666. London, last three numbers 666. Paris, last three numbers 666. I noticed, I commented in the chat a minute ago, there was 666 people watching. Oh, and by the way, people sometimes comment. Let's see if it's up right now. I have on one of my screens, I have a spinning cube, but it's actually not a cube. It's 16:9 aspect ratio. It's metallic, and my colors are black and white. My scheme: I'm not a Satan worshiper. I'm not a Saturn worshiper. This isn't some kind of code. I'm addressing it. If anybody wants to help me with a new box logo and help me spinning it, it took me like all day to figure out how to get that box to spin. So you guys can understand why it hasn't been changed yet. This is the new logo. No more news copying Fox News. I need more logos. We also have this is in Mecca, the holiest site in Saudi Arabia. They run around a black cube, their most religious thing. And this is the Saudi Arabia police / military logo, an all-seeing eye. They also have some pyramids in the other ones. They're tied in, they're allies, they're part of this. They were founded by Rothschilds in Europe, and they're dirty.
If you can't produce peace in the...
Is Kushner going to bring peace to the Middle East? Is that what this is? Oh, I forgot one more thing. That's right. While we're on the Saturn stuff, I'm so glad I remembered. Black cube symbolism. This is from End Times Prophecy. I just Googled it shortly before. They have all these movie things. The black cube that's in Star Trek Federation called the Borg. The Allspark cube from the Transformers movies, the black cube. Cube from Hellraiser movies. Even the black monolith in 2001, A Space Odyssey, was a cube-like from some angles. The Kaaba, which reminds me of Kabbalah in Mecca. Here it is, the Jews that wear it on their forehead. You can fold it out and it'll be a cross. Black cube decoded. It's also part here of the, this is a Kabbalah, I believe. The Tree of Life, which is a Kabbalah thing. Maybe connected to gematria. Also, you can see the pentagram here. The cube fits in that. So we'll get rid of that one. And back to here. Thanks, guys, for sticking with me. So this is who's going to make peace in the Middle East but Mr. Kushner.
If you can't produce peace in the Middle East, nobody can.
President Trump declared that his son-in-law Jared Kushner could broker the toughest deal in the world, lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
Kushner is emerging as the smoothest, slickest operator of the court of King Donald, Tulsa world, making peace in the Middle East. Here's what a Third Temple expert has to say about peace happening in the end times. And also war, Mag and Magog war, and genocide, and a whole bunch of other terrible things that's not going to be good for the world with the temple being built. I'll get into the end why the temple's so bad and we got to stop it.
I mean, right now, Jewish people just going on the Temple Mount can create a riot sometimes. So can you envision a scenario where they would allow the temple to be built? No.
The Arabs aren't going to do it, but the Sanhedrin is asking the Arabs to help rebuild. They just had a concert, or they're about to have a concert at the Temple Mount, all about raising awareness and money for the temple. That's why they're selling the coins to raise funds for the temple.
A lot of the scholars that I've spoken to talk about how the building of this next temple is really going to bring peace to Israel and to bring safety from all her enemies. And so in that way, I can see that any maybe leader that would be raised up or somebody that would be able to bring the nations together.
A leader that will be raised up and bring the nations together will be the Moshiach. You heard that? This is CBN News, Third Temple expert.
Any maybe leader that would be raised up or somebody that would be able to bring the nations together, especially those who might align with Israel, that there might be some agreement that the temple could exist there and this person could be set up in the temple. What we know.
Kushner was there at the embassy opening. It's a major step towards the temple, and he's going to be there, instrumental in bringing peace to the Middle East and rebuilding the temple.
Is that's probably going to be a false Messiah, because as we read in the book of Daniel, that there's a false Messiah that's going to make a peace agreement. And so that's the potential, is that something would be built for the false Messiah to set himself up.
The Prince of Peace. How Kushner played... Oh, doggies.
Ollie! Stop it!
Great, that's perfect. Dogs fighting with the neighbor's yard. How Kushner played matchmaker between Israel and Saudi Arabia, according to Woodward. So Kushner's the matchmaker, although they've been allies all along. They worked together on 9/11 and even before that. Kushner in Jerusalem, peace deal to benefit both sides in Mideast conflict. So Kushner's bringing peace. He's the one. Kushner says Trump is going to be the deal of the century. Mideast peace plans will be unveiled soon.
But no administration over the course of 4 decades has been able to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict. Barrack says with a new set of leaders in the Arab world wanting a solution, the timing is right.
Kushner played a key role in February's visit from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Can I reveal, Jared, how long?
We saw that. We've known Kushner for a long time.
Finessing the strained relationships with Mexico and working with the Canadian government are also Kushner projects. And he's now running a newly created office to integrate business ideas into the government.
Wow, he sure does a lot. Okay. All right. Now we're getting into some of the esoteric, creepy media stuff. Jared Kushner hires horror movie publicist to work in the White House. A publicist from Blumhouse Productions. Oh, and this is from a documentary called Antichrist Has Been Revealed on YouTube. I'll try to get the link in the description too. Jared Kushner hires chief Get Out publicist. Remember the movie Get Out? It's about a black guy going to an all-white town where the white people hypnotize the black people to be their slaves. So it's like this a racial division type movies. Also, Purge is the other movie that this Blumhouse guy he hired, publicist, worked for. Purge, Vince from Red Elephants did a video about Purge and showed all the tweets. People that go see this they hate white people. They hate the government. They want to have a purge. They want to have civil war, civil unrest. So this guy, John Raffi, 32, he's going to... Oh, here, we'll just play it.
Kushner at the helm of a newly unveiled office called the White House Office of American Innovation.
The Office of Innovation. I've also heard, I should have done the research and people can put it in the comments, but I've heard that his 666 Fifth Avenue building has a company that's building some kind of microchip, and that Kushner's got this innovation, he's all good with tech, and he's going to, possibly they say that the Antichrist is going to possess advanced technology, so Kushner, check off that box as well for Kushner. The Office of Innovation. So Blumhouse, you know, quotes on that, Blumhouse, the Purge movies. Here's the New York while Raphael's history with Kushner companies no doubt played a role in his hiring, so too must have the obvious parallels between the job he's leaving and the one he's taking. So this is the type of people, you know, Trump's a good Christian and stuff. No, we got people making crazy videos, and look at this: "Keep America Great." The Purge election year. That's the tagline. Purge election year. Keep America Great is the same slogan Mr. Trump plans to use for a possible 2020 presidential bid. Keep ready for 2020 with Keep America Great slogan.
But our new slogan, when we start running in, can you believe it, 2 years from now, is going to be Keep America Great, exclamation point. Keep America Great.
Pretty crazy, right? Here's another one. Kushner and Ivanka appeared together on a TV show called Gossip Girls as themselves. And the episode was The Whore of Babylon. Another coincidence? This week's guests were Ivanka and Trump Kushner. Okay, and then some more esoteric, crazy stuff. People have made... I didn't make these. These were just on Google Images. The Omen. Kushner, with his resemblance to the movie The Omen, which I've actually never seen, but I guess he's a little satanic devil. Here's another one, The Final Conflict, the last chapter in the Omen trilogy. There's Kushner in the middle of it. There's another Omen side by side. See, I'm not the one that... This is revealed. This is out there. I'm not the one that like came up with any of this stuff. It's all out there to see. It's all their words. Just connecting the dots. There's one more. See the resemblance? So, this is a show on television called Dig. And there's a little character that's the Messiah that's going to sacrifice, that's never touched the ground, 12 years old, never touched the ground. He's part of this temple cult that wants to rebuild the temple. And the whole plot of the movie is about destroying the Dome of the Rock. And here he is with his little red heifer. Look how much he looks like Kushner. Tell me that doesn't look a little Kushner-esque, right? Notice the... It kind of makes me think of Cube a little bit. Not really a cube, but maybe a little stretch on that one. There's the Red Heifer and all the Chabad Lubavitchers. More on the Red Heifer in a second. But the guy looks like Kushner, though. Reminds me of Kushner. A little effeminate, androgynous.
Josh.
Oh, and speaking of the Red Heifer, which just recently, The Sun, Apocalypse Now, first Red Heifer born in Israel for 2,000 years, triggers Armageddon fears after Christian and Jewish holy books say it will bring the end of the world. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem said the calf underwent extensive examination by the experts. So they probably sent over those kosher experts and counted every little hair on that. I heard that it was genetically modified too, so I mean... more self-fulfilling. I'm not sure about that, but if it is, that's a forced prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy. And here's RT, end of days, birth of Red Heifer in Israel may signal coming of Messiah, Hebrew scholars say. I'm almost done, guys. We're almost through the end. Here's the show Dig. Is a highly archaeological suspense thriller in Jerusalem, 6-episode event, investigates crimes on foreign soil. Here's the episode 10, the one I watched, with Armageddon Protocol. With the fate of humanity at stake, Peter races to stop the Order of the Moriah's plan to destroy the Temple Mount and bring about the end of days. So the show Dig is all about destroying the Dome of the Rock. And that little Kushner-looking guy is the Messiah. Tim King and Gideon Graff. Gideon Raff is from, oh man, I'm brain farting on the name of his other show right now. But Tim Kring is the connection I want to have. Homeland. Tim Kring also made Dig about blowing up the dome. He also made Heroes, and Gideon Raff made Homeland. And here's Dig.
Right below the foundation stone.
So the Dome of the Rock is up there.
For now, until the Order of Moriah destroys it all. I led them here, and now they're going to use it to destroy.
So they're going to blow it up. They're going to blow up the Dome of the Rock.
The Al-Aqsa Dome of the Rock. If that mosque comes down.
If that mosque comes down.
It'll be World War III up there.
World War III. Armageddon.
Everything.
Just found out they're going to destroy.
Here's another clip from this episode.
Just found out they're going to destroy the whole Temple Mount.
From the Well of Souls?
From below. They're going to get below it and blow it up. I mean, if this whole thing is about rebuilding the temple, remember that other movie, Time of Favor, was the same plot about destroying it, destroying the Dome of the Rock. And, okay, so Tim Kring. Oh, wait, we'll go to Heroes Unborn. Tim Kring is the guy that made that Dig show. Oh, come on. Come on. I don't know what's going on. Crap. Kushner. Okay. So this show, sorry, my Premiere Pro's messing up. Brave New World is the episode that this guy Tim Kring, who also made Dig, and if you read, it says after a terrorist attack, the whole plot is about 9/11. So he has this guy Tim Kring has a whole show about the plot is 9/11, essentially a metaphor for it, and about blowing up the Dome of the Rock, the connections. Brave New World episode title. After a terrorist attack in Odessa, Texas, left the city decimated and lives in shambles. Those with extraordinary abilities are in hiding after being blamed for the catastrophic event. Catastrophic event, just like the new Pearl Harbor. Jeez. I'm gonna have to. God, I don't know. My whole thing's frozen. This is so off. Oh, there we go. Boom. Gosh. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. God, I wish I could have edited that out. So now we're on Heroes. Heroes Reborn. Also, the symbolism of this black sun. Tim Kring is the creator. Here they are, the two guys that made Dig. This guy's an Israeli that made Homeland, and this guy made both Tim Kring. Tim invited me to direct a few episodes on Heroes Reborn. So this guy, Raf, this Israeli, worked with Heroes Reborn too. And here's a couple clips from it, all about how it's a terrorist attack and it's blamed on the wrong guy. And they call them truthers. So I'll let this run for a second here. It's all cut up, so hopefully I don't get any copyrights. May have to stop it once, but here we go. Okay, better pause. So they're at this like Evo center, and then a terrorist attack happens. A big bomb blows up the building. So it's a terrorist attack?
Within hours. And
they blame it on a Muslim terrorist, and it's not really him, just like bin Laden? Lies. Just like it was lies when they said bin Laden took responsibility. He actually denied responsibility multiple times. I have a video called Bin Laden is Innocent, or Bin Laden denies responsibility, up on my page. You can find that.
I'm pretty sure Renatus was behind the whole slaughter.
That's not what the world believes.
You knew Mahinder.
So here's the conspiracy theorist.
I'm pretty sure Renatus was behind the whole slaughter.
That's not what the world believes.
You knew Mahinder Suresh. Was he capable of mass murder?
No. But why is he running? Why is Renatus...
See, so the company blew up their own building and blamed it on somebody else. To what really happened on 9/11.
It have to do with me. June 13th is just the beginning. I just don't know of what. And
9/11 was just the beginning. It was just to launch the war on terror and put the pieces in motion to rebuild this temple and have Israel be a superpower. Just like the Rebbe was telling Netanyahu, and now Kushner is coming up and doing the same thing. Do more to hasten the Messiah.
Your name is on hundreds of memos.
Let me guess. You're a truther.
They even call them truthers. You hear that? Let me guess. You're a truther. You know something about 9/11? You're a truther.
Let me guess. You're a truther. An apologist for Mahinder Suresh?
Oh, an apologist for terrorists, for Arab terrorists. That's what they say to us. Not true.
And
we just want to point out the actual terrorists that did it, not one terrorist group that's blaming it on another terrorist group.
Suresh.
He's a patsy.
What?
See, it's a patsy.
You man. Something big's coming. Something big's coming. How do you not know that, man? Come on, sir, move.
And the typical response, this is almost like conditioning the audience that when you hear, oh, truthers and a date and like a bomb, to call them.
Yeah, it's just some nut.
Just some nut.
You're
just some nut. So you're a truther. Truthers are nuts. Check out my Netflix video. Netflix thinks 9/11 truth is hilarious, to see a whole lot more propaganda against 9/11 in there. Okay, almost done with this sidetrack, this side rabbit trail.
Little twerp like you should be holed up in your mother's basement trolling conspiracy boards.
I'm just trying to help. Something terrible's gonna happen.
In your mother's basement trolling conspiracy boards.
I sold her my company because she had a visionary plan to save the world from a catastrophic event.
Catastrophic event, just like the new Pearl Harbor needed they wanted a catastrophic event like a new Pearl Harbor to launch all these wars and the war on terror.
Launch a product tomorrow called Epic in Midian, and Molly Walker's power drives it. You were right.
Thanks.
You were right. The conspiracy theorist turns out in the end to be right. You hear that? So at least we saved it there. Okay, guys, I'm almost wrapping this up now. What are we? Hour and 20 minutes. Thank you for sticking with me. Is everybody sticking with me? Yes, 777. Wow, last time I looked it was 666, and now it's 777. I kid you not. So next we have, to finish off, what does Jared Kushner really want? Let's just say, hypothetically, he is the Moshiach. They say they're going to hail him as the Messiah. What does he want? What is the Zionist end game? Well, we can start with this little article here from JTA, Jewish Telegraph Agency. Ben Gurion, the first Prime Minister of Israel, worked with the Zionists and Herzl, I believe, and the Rothschilds to orchestrate, put the pieces in motion to start have a state of Israel. But that's just the beginning. This is what he wants. With the exception of the USSR, a federated Eurasian state, all other continents will become united in a world alliance. So he wants a world government with an international police force. Oh, that sounds scary. Reminds me of Hunger Games in the capital. All armies will be abolished and there will be no more wars. Oh, that's not 1984-ish. An international police, Gestapo, stormtroopers, and there'll be no more wars. And we'll all worship the Messiah, the Moshiach at the temple. In Jerusalem, so this is first Prime Minister of Israel. In Jerusalem, the United Nations, a truly United Nations, will build a shrine of the prophets, their prophets, to serve the federated union of all continents. This will be the seat of the Supreme Court of mankind. The Rothschilds, Supreme Court that paid for it and designed it with the all-seeing eye pyramid in it. The Supreme Court of mankind in Israel to settle all controversies ruling the world from Jerusalem among the federated continents as prophesied by Isaiah. So this is all their end times prophecy. And, oops, what was the last part? Oh, now we're going to do what happens at the end when the temple is rebuilt. They're going to be a light into the nations. You talk to your average Jew, and they will tell you that it's going to be peaceful and world peace, and the temple's for everybody. And but this is what it's actually going to be about.
When the Messiah comes, that non-Jews will end up being like slaves to Jews and things like that. Is that part of, like, where does that come from?
What you're saying is correct. What you're saying is correct.
And what does it mean?
יעבדוך העמים. יעבדוך העמים. ישתחוו לחלומי. יעבדוך העמים. It says here, יעבדוך העמים. The lands will work for you. יעבדוך העמים. See it?
Okay. Well, I'll ask in English. Do you believe
so you just saw it there in the Torah. We will serve, the other nations will
must-
serve. May the nations serve you and the peoples bow down to you. It's true.
Do you believe that the Gentiles, the Goyim, will one day become the slaves of the Jews?
So I believe it's part of the Torah.
Okay.
And they don't want the Jewish
Not
person
on our watch.
to work.
אתה חושב שהגויים יהיו עבדים של היהודים יום אחד?
אמורים להיות.
אוקיי, מה זאת
They
אומרת?
are supposed to be.
לפי מה שכתוב בתורה, הגויים אמורים להיות העבדים שלנו.
Most chosen people.
האם אתה מאמין שהגויים יהיו עבדים של היהודים יום אחד?
כן, זה כתוב בתורה.
אוקיי, ומה זה אומר?
בתורה אני מאמין.
כן? ומה כתוב? כתוב בפירוש שהגויים יהיו עבדים שלנו?
כתוב שאחרי ביאת המשיח.
When the Messiah will come.
אני אומר, כתוב אחרי ביאת המשיח, אני לא יכול להביא את הפסוק המדויק, אבל כתוב שאחרי ביאת המשיח יהיה מלחמה מאוד מאוד גדולה, ובסופו של דבר כן, גויים יהיו עבדים שלנו.
In the end, the Gentiles will be slaves to the Jews for a period of time. The time of the Gentiles will be over. When the Moshiach comes, the temple is built, huge war, fake peace, and we will be their slaves. This is the end game for them. And it doesn't make me a supremacist or a Nazi or an anti-Semite to point out clips of them in their own words and their own writing saying this stuff. So don't give me that crap, ADL. The GDL owns you. Go back to the ancient days. Remember the Madas Yahu song? In the ancient days we will return with no delay. The spoils and the bounties on our way. They want to rule the world, and they're doing it with high tech and trade and the Belt and Road Initiative. And the tech takeover is stolen technology to rule the world.
How does the Torah view non-Jews? Does the Torah view non?
He goes, we're chosen, we're chosen. Here, let's watch one more. This is the best one. They are animals. Cattle.
רגע, זה מה שאני רוצה להבין. רגע, שקט. אז מי, כן, מה כתוב? זה מה שאני לא מבין.
כתוב שאתם קרויים אדם, והגויים לא קרויים אדם, זה מה שכתוב.
לא קרויים?
לא קרויים אדם, לא קוראים להם אדם.
אוקיי, אז מה קוראים להם?
אדם זה הדמה לעליון. אדם הוא בן אדם שהוא שונה מהבהמה.
They think of us as cattle. We're only here to serve them.
אז הוא כמו הבהמה, מה זה שווה? כל בן אדם צריך לשלוט על עצמו. זה היהודים שולטים על עצמם.
Okay. I was just thinking this is probably totally going to get taken down, censored off of YouTube. Just for speaking the truth, just for showing them in their own words, I'm going to be censored and called a supremacist for pointing out their true supremacy. Just so sad.
יצר אומר להם לעשות דבר והם לא עושים, אז הוא בן אדם.
אוקיי, אבל יש מישהו שהוא לא יהודי שעושה מה שצריך. הוא בן אדם או לא בן אדם?
צריך לעשות דברים...
That's the other thing is they claim to be the smartest race, and that's why they control everything, because they're just the smartest and chosen.
נורמליים, בדרך כלל הם עושים, הם יכולים להרוג אנשים שלא רואים אותם. יהודי לא יהרוג יהודי, אפילו שלא רואים אותם.
שנייה, אדם זה על שם הדמה לעליון. אדם זה כביכול הדמה לאלוקים. אוקיי? זה פירוש אדם. אנחנו הפכנו את זה, זאת אומרת העם הפך את זה, שהאדם בן אדם, כמובן אתה בן אדם, אתה צריך להתנהג כמו בן אדם, אבל בעיקרון זה על שם עליון. אדם זה הדמה לעליון, וכיוון שאנחנו בנים של אלוקים.
These guys who want to cut up babies' genitals and suck the blood and do animal sacrifices so blood runs in the streets and blow up holy sites so they can rebuild and rule the world. It's literally a third temple cult of supremacists. And it's not a joking matter. This is serious, serious stuff. Goyim Defense League, the Goyim really need to unite and fight against this Jewish supremacy.
אז הוא קרא לנו בני אדם. עכשיו, הגויים מה שאין, כן? אלוקים עשה אותם בשביל שיעשו פה...
בשביל לשרת את היהודים.
God made us to serve the Jews. That's what we're here for, guys, to serve them. That's the Talmudic Torah mindset.
את היהודים. כל הגויים שאתה רואה שיש בעולם, המיליארדים האלה, הם הכל רק בשביל שהיהודים יהיה להם איזה...
We exist just for the Jews' benefit.
עכשיו,
אנחנו לא רואים את זה, אנחנו לא יודעים בדיוק.
כן, היות ואנחנו בגלות, אז אוטומטי עדיין...
We don't serve them completely yet. So we do still serve them. They still dominate the world, but not completely. So just imagine how much worse it's going to get when this temple is built and the Kushner is hailed as the Moshiach.
מאוד לא משרתים אותנו לגמרי, רק חלקית.
כל אחד יהיה לו, כשמשיח יבוא, אז כל אחד יהיה לו אלפים עבדים, 2,800.
They all get, we're going to be their slaves. They're going to get 2,800 Goyim slaves to each Jew. This is what they believe. And obviously not every Jew believes this. There's extremes on all sides in every religion, but the more moderate conservative Jews need to call this out, and they got to understand that all this is completely connected to the building of the temple and this whole end of days prophecy stuff. That these Christian Zionists are either fooled through the Schofield Bible or just willingly satanic Freemason, Illuminati down with all this Shabbos goys, I don't know.
המשיח לא כאן, אז איך הם משרתים אותנו?
הם בונים לנו רכבים, דירות, בניינים, הם בונים את זה. לנו. משרתים את היהודים.
We serve the Jews with a nice smile. Here, a little bit more.
And Hashem wrote in the Torah like this. הן גויים כמר מדלי, וכשחק מאזניים נחשבו. The difference between a Jew to a goy, to a non-Jew, and we are talking now even the most righteous goy, not an idol worshipper, a great Gentile person, great personality, loving Jew, respecting God, everything fine with him. But this is a Jew compared to him, according to the book of God. The Jew is like the water that you bring from the lake in the bucket. And the Gentile is the few drops that stick to the side of the bucket when you put it down.
You hear that? The Jew is the bucket, the water in the bucket, and we're like a couple drips off on the side. That's what they think of us.
This is the comparison of God between the Jew to a non-Jew. And again, I'm not making it up. I'm giving you the source. Isaiah chapter 40.
I can tell that's Johnny Gatt font right there. This is from Johnny Gatt's one of his great documentaries.
Verse 15. Go and check. In any language you want, it's the same meaning.
Based Jewish supremacist Dennis Prager writes articles saying, yes, Jews are the chosen people. Deuteronomy 7:6. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the people on the face of the earth to be his people.
That was Johnny Gatt's documentary. A little bit about Dennis Prager being an ultra-Zionist. That's another one I forgot. All these Trump-supporting right-wing conservatives are all pretty hardcore Zionists in this Third Temple cult. Here's one more. Chosen One's supremacy.
So you're racist? Of course not. Of course not. But there is a basic difference between Jews and non-Jews. We are God's chosen people. And if the Jewish leaders don't like that, then they can burn their local Bibles. But don't burn Kahana.
There you go. So that's all I have for the clips of those guys. And to finish it off, let's do a few articles, headlines that I have. Here's one. Hopefully this pops up where I want it to. No. We got Newsweek. This is Jews are smartest race in the world and superior humans, Israeli lawmaker claims. Okay, let's bring up another one. Oh, that's the same one. Here's the Sephardi leader, Ovadia Yosef, and his most controversial quotation. So deeply respected in Israel. So his son now is too. I believe they're even paid by the government. The purpose of Gentiles to serve Jews. So this is a well-respected rabbi, Sephardic rabbi. And then the Chabad Lubavitch Rebbe said that Jews have satanic souls, is what he wrote. We're born with satanic souls. And here's one more from this Yosef. Oh, that's right. I was going to find my... I shared on Twitter recently. I shared that they did a poll on how many Jews in Israel believe they are chosen, and I believe it was 56. So it's the majority of Jews in Israel think they are chosen to rule over the Goyim. No joke. We'll see if I can find that. I've been doing a lot of tweeting recently. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner blessed by top Israeli rabbi who compared black people to monkeys. Isn't that racial and supremacist for you? You don't hear the ADL talking about them. It's all about anti-Semite. Here's another Chabad rabbi says about the Arabs, destroy their holy sites, kill men, women, and children, and cattle. Well, Goyim are cattle anyway. And the last one, this is a good way to end it. We got Haaretz, it's not racism, it's Jewish law. So they just when white people just want to defend their race or point out Jewish supremacy, we're supremacists. But you're not racist because it's just Jewish law, so it's okay. I'm sorry, that's Haaretz too. That's Israel's chief rabbinate. Jewish law forbids non-Jews from working in wine production. So we all know who the supremacists are. That's why we got the GDL, the Goyim Defense League, exposing the supremacists. If everybody doesn't want to watch the Q&A, you can go ahead and turn off now. But I'm going to get to these super chats now. 753 watching. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Let's get to these super chats. Oh, shoot. Get rid of that. Oh, man. What am I? An hour and 35 minutes. Almost out of water. It's getting really hot in here. I'll try to get to these quick. A lot of stuff going on with the GDL. A lot of attacks, a lot of haters, a lot of jealous people trying to undermine our concept, a lot of people trying to infiltrate and subvert and get us taken down, people even asking YouTube to take us down, lying about us every which way possible, targeting us like mafia criminals. And, okay, let's read these here now. So, where's my title? Adam Green, No More News. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, also $1 a month on Patreon goes a long way to me making more videos, info-packed like this. Also subscribe to BitChute. All the links are in the description. Israel died in 9/11. Great work, Adam. Keep it going. Thank you. Mass 1. Who thinks they are getting 2,800 slaves? So yeah, that was from about an hour ago. I got to that. Interview Michael Hoffman, please. Okay, I'll write that down. I never heard of him. Michael Hoffman. Hope it's not Jim Hoffman from the other Zionist press, Gateway Pundit, who was there in Israel with Netanyahu and Breitbart at the founding of Breitbart. Gregory W. Alex Jones Exiles, $5. Thank you. He's always leaving super chats. 2 days ago, Alex Jones started off his show saying that the World Trade Centers went down in controlled demolition. We still have a lot to work to do there. Yeah, that's as far as he go. Jones also had a guy named Bolin or Broin from Fox News on to basically take a fall and stab himself down and make it look like 9/11 truth is a joke. Well, it is kind of a joke if you have to if you're trying to omit every bit of Israeli connections in your narrative, which he didn't used to do. Jones used to say that Zionist fingerprints were all over 9/11 until he was visited by Mossad and they told him to stop blaming Israel, and he listened. And now he's more successful, blew up household name, and now he's taking down, he's the beta test, setting the precedent, taking the fall of all this new censorship that they're going to bring in, while all the time misdirecting and shining the light in the wrong direction towards China instead of the ADL and Israel dominating Silicon Valley. More and more disinfo. Disinfo Jones. Owen Schroyer, I know you're watching this. What's up, man? Why are you so afraid to come on the show? That's another one from Alex Jones Exiles. Yes, Owen Schroyer, I challenged him to a debate in a super chat. Maybe he didn't see it, but I did a video, so he got the message now. He said something about me on his show today, which I missed it at the time. I was busy, and I'm not going to call in and sit around to try to hopefully get on the air to debate you on your show and get you mute me anytime and go to commercial break or just drop the call and not let me respond. Why don't you come on my show, Owen? Huh? Or give me the Skype or the phone in. I'll be so shocked if Owen does a debate with me, because I can almost guarantee that Alex Jones or whatever handlers are over there, who's the other one, Rob Dew, have put out a instruction to all InfoWars employees to not talk to me, because we know they know who I am. They used to play my videos, and ever since I've started attacking them, I tag them on everything. They ignore it all. They're scared. They can't handle the scrutiny. They can't handle the truth. So we'll see if Owen debates. Tom S., keep on dropping truth bombs. Thank you, Tom. Kevin White, $5. Nothing to say, but thank you. No more news. Please interview at Awake Souls, the Limitless channel about end days prophecies. Okay, Awake Souls. Never heard of these guys. And Limitless channel about end of days prophecy. Okay, Guy Harrison says, GDL HQ has been shut down Discord. This is from HT. Okay, well, that's, I wonder if it was shut down on purpose or if they just, the internet's banning us everywhere. Guys, please subscribe to me. Subscribe, also follow on social media and BitChute. And if you can, just sign up for $1 a month on Patreon. They're likely to get rid of my channel at any moment. I have no strikes. I'm able to do everything now, but any moment they could take me down, and I don't want to lose contact with you, and I hope that you don't want to lose contact with me. So make sure to follow. Links are in the description. Armchair Quarterback says, nobody seems to care about exposing Zionists. Do you have hope for the majority of the population waking up? I see a lot of people in the comments and a lot more YouTube videos and a lot more people waking up to information. We're in the information age. If you are an honest truth seeker and you can seek out the information, it is there. Loads of it. Overwhelming evidence to figure all this stuff out. You just have to be smart enough to see through the propaganda. And it's hard. It's almost a full-time job to get it figured out. I've been duped. We've all been duped. So it's all about admitting you were wrong and seeking out the correct information, trying to prove the things that you know wrong. But for the most part, most people don't do that. They care more about fantasy football, and I'm not very optimistic that we're going to ever really make too big of a difference. I don't think we're going to be able to vote our way out of it. I don't think we're going to be able to pressure our politicians to do anything. And I don't think any savior is going to come from within. So last one, Anna Reyes. Thank you for all your work, Adam. Well, thank you, Anna, and thank you for everyone for watching. Mouth is dry. I'm out of water. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Let's close it down. Adam Green with no more news. The GDL shirts are in the description if you guys want to help me out and buy a shirt and spread the message. Goyim Defense League shirts are great to wake people up to this information. The concept that Goyim, they look at us as inferior, like it's a derogatory, because their Bible prophecy literally says that they're going to rule over us. And these Christian Zionists are trying to make them help fulfill this prophecy. So another super chat, one more. Greetings from a Mexican. I hope more people wake up about who really runs the world. So do I. Okay, guys. Adam Green, no more news. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to share the archive link. Send it around. Make sure Owen Schroyer sees it. Make sure the rest of the haters see it. Adam Green, signing off. No more news. Thanks for watching.